Hey friends, happy Wednesday. Let me check my audio. Is my audio on? Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Um, Let me know if you can hear me. I can't, I have no idea. Oh, good. I don't see any, my audio is not indicated, so I couldn't tell. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching later, um, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on the live tonight or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I'm live, hopefully, in 2 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. And at any time during this project you like what you see and you think others should see it, please feel free to share the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube where you can, where you have permission. Don't be spamming me anywhere. Um, Tag your crafty friends, invite them to watch along with you. And as always, hit that heart button, hit that thumbs up button. Not only does that help my little channel get seen by other people, that also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, it hopefully will start pushing more content like this into your feed. So it helps both of us, and I greatly appreciate it. So with that, we'll go to the comments. Miss Bonita is on. She says, hello, Jason and Robin. Hello, hello. And then Jason says hello from the other side of the door. Happy hump day, and my audio is working. I'm not getting the little, usually my little microphone icon has some, the little green equalizer, but I don't see that. So I had no clue. And I couldn't hear my music during the intro. So I was kind of guessing. Okay, no. Well, with that, I won't waste any of your time. Let's just hop right on into the project. So if you could see by the title, we are going to make some bookmarks because I have a bunch of blank blind date with the book bundles. I have 5 that I need to get stuffed, and one of those is I usually try to put a bookmark in there, and I have not used these Couture bookmarks yet. They are a pack of 4. They are 1 inch by 5 inch. And I do have everything linked in the description of the video. So we're going to use these. They were out of stock for a bit, but they have been restocked. And then I pulled out all of the bookmark transfers that I have. So this one is a new one. It's called a favorite genre. These are all size A's. I have the watercolor florals. I have Spirit Lead Me. This one is retired, but they are faith-based. I have so many books. I believe this one is in stock and is linked below. This one is called I'm Booked, and it's mainly holiday, but I do like the one at the bottom that says I'm booked, so it will look that way. So I pulled that one out, and I think that's it. I also I need to put these somewhere where I won't lose them. I also might try a few other bookmark surfaces this evening. If you don't want to, and I'm digging in my box over here. If you don't want to buy the MDF bookmarks, because they are kind of small and they are fairly thick. They're about 1/8 of an inch thick. Benita says she might have to borrow the Spirit Lead Me. Absolutely. Yeah, you could use bookmarks for your Bible. If you don't want to purchase these, I purchased these off of Amazon. They are 2 by 5.5. But you can also get an arched acrylic bookmark at Hobby Lobby, and it is 2 by 6. It looks frosted, but it's actually clear. It just has that protective layer on both sides. So I thought we would do one of those, but because these transfers are sized for this 1 by 5, I think I'm going to cut a piece of watercolor paper and I'm going to decoupage it on here. So that will be another way of making a bookmark. You could also, if you didn't want to purchase acrylic bookmarks, you could use some of that clear packaging. This was from like some planner paper, but it's it's thicker than a transparency. So you could use something like this, and you could chalk on it and then put a tassel on it. My other thought is, because I'm a crafter and I cannot throw anything away, these are the packages for the Wet n Wild makeup brushes that I use as paint brushes, and they have not been or did I cut them apart? So they actually, this little guy slides out, so you could change this out for a piece of watercolor paper. You don't even have to seal it, just cut your hole once we put our watercolor paper in, and then you can add your tassel. So this is actually 2 for the price of 1. So not only do you get the best base coat paintbrush, you can get a bookmark sleeve. So they do come like this, but I just trimmed this top portion off, and I took this little band off. Oh, I knew what you meant. Oh, your daughter-in-law, not your daughter. I'm sure your daughter could use a bookmark too. So let's go ahead. I'm going to cut my watercolor paper, this one, to 1 by 5. I think this piece will fit. Nope. So we'll cut this piece. So it is might be able to get 2 out of here. So let's put this one at 1. Oops. Put that one at 1. Maybe. Okay, so there's our 2 bookmark pieces. And then this piece is, and it doesn't, yeah, I guess. I was going to say it doesn't have to be the whole piece for this sleeve, but I think we probably should make it. So it is 1.5 by 7. So let's do 1.5. So we'll have all of our little pieces. Seven. Okay, so there are those little pieces. So get that out of my way. Get that out of my way. Okay, so we've got a couple of options for bookmarks. So that will go there. It looks a little funny. You could also put a little piece of scrap paper there on that side, but I think this will work. You could add some dried florals, and then I believe this will fit in here. Perfect. Okay, so there's another option for a bookmark. Okay, so let's get started. So I need to figure out I really love this library card one. It's one of my favorites. I know I've done that before on a bookmark. I think we're going to do it on this one. And I don't think I'm going to fuzz. Transfer. Pretty sticky. Or it's not very sticky. Okay. And then I have some nominee here. We're going to use that. So I'm just going to dip my squeegee. And you don't even have to use the bookmark transfers. You could use any of the patterned transfers, would make really pretty bookmarks. The stripes for, actually we might do one of those. I didn't even think about that. You could use the stripes and the monogram font from this month's Club Couture transfer. I should have thought of that earlier. You don't even have to use the bookmark shape. I know in the mixed media aisle at Hobby Lobby, not only do they have acrylic bookmarks, but they have acrylic luggage tags, which would just be a non-conventional bookmark shape, but I think it would be wide enough for the Club Couture design that has the stripes and the little oval frame in it. So fun. So we'll let that dry. You could even use, even if you have some of the keychain blanks, you could use some of those. it would just be a round bookmark instead of a long bookmark. Okay, so we'll let that one dry over here. And then I think, okay, I had some sponge pieces the other day and I put them away, but I don't remember what I did with them. The checkout card, it's so fun. Yeah, I love it. Okay, well, I'm just going to cut this one. So I've seen some designers cut their board erasers into little pieces and use those to sponge paint, but those are too, board erasers are kind of precious, so I'm going to use, this is one of those car washing sponges from the Dollar Tree. I had a bunch of sponge pieces laying here, and of course, I cleaned up the other day, and now I don't know. I don't know what I did with them. We'll just use this. This will work. So I think I'm going to figure out which one of these I'm going to use. Probably ought to write on the back. So if you're new here, these are reusable silkscreen transfers, and because they are reusable, I need to return it to this carrier sheet. So I need to note what is the back side and what is the front side. So I'm just writing the name on the back so that when it's all dry and all clean and ready to be put away, I know it goes on this side, not this side. And then I'm going to score my transfer apart on these cutting lines. I like to keep my backer sheet intact because that's just 4 less pieces that I have to keep track of. Well, technically 3 if I cut it apart, because I already still have 1 to keep track of. So I think we'll do the romance one, but I'm going to experiment. A little bit. We're just going to kind of sponge dab some paste on to this bookmark. So I'm just going to dip my sponge I don't know if this is going to work. I probably should have done white first and then gold, because I'm not for sure that's going to show up. Ouch. I figured this would be easier than painting. I think it looks good. Oh, I just stuck my finger in it. This might also keep me from getting the sides all gunky. I may have to come back in and paint the back side. Can you tell that that one's painted? It kind of shows through. Might be a little bit more in some spots. Try to get it smoothed out. There, that looks a little more sparkly. Okay, so we'll let that one dry, and we'll figure out which. I just got to figure out. I'm going to Mod Podge the paper onto the bookmark, acrylic bookmark. I need to figure out if I want to decoupage it on first and then paste it and then decoupage over the top. It looks kind of silly. I'm almost thinking that I need to, did I say this was 2? And then that is 1/4. I'm thinking I almost need to do 1.5 inches. Maybe even 1 5/8 inches. By 5. I think I'm going to make it a little bigger. These are just kind of skinny. Yeah, I think I'm going to recut that to something a little wider. I probably do have a pretty napkin that I could put on there first. It's not a bad idea. Let's go take a look. And then I can still use the little piece of paper. Let me look at my napkins. I surprisingly don't have a lot of napkins. But this one is my favorite. It's one of my favorite prints from Hobby Lobby. They have fabric in this print. So we'll use that one. Good idea. I think we'll just cut it. It doesn't really matter because the paper is going to cover most of it. But I do want, I think I want to cut it out of this chunk. So let's just cut this whole square out. Okay. Oh, and guess what comes tomorrow? And guess who leaves on Friday? My Disney comes tomorrow and I leave on Friday. So most of the napkins are either 2-ply or 3-ply, meaning they have this backer on them. So you do need to release it from the backer. So you just have 1-ply. And you do need to remove. There are protective layers on both sides. I'm going to leave the one on the back first. I am going to put a little pin mark so I remind myself that this is the back side and I have not removed that layer yet, but I'm going to keep it on there just so that I can protect the back side. Okay, so I have some extreme glitter Mod Podge. I also have some hard coat Mod Podge. I don't know if there's much glitter left in there. So let's get the paintbrush. It's still a little sparkly. Probably should have used a clean backer sheet, but because this is acrylic, I'll have to probably do the wet decoupage method. I'm going to remove that. Hopefully I have enough decoupage. Oh, I tore it. I need the, like the little baggie. I wonder if okay, let's see if I can fix that little spot. I'm just using my paintbrush to kind of move that napkin back down. So I'm just gonna remove a little bit from down here. And I'm gonna kind of pat right there. This might look a little weird, but hopefully my yarn will actually, I'm going to use a tiny piece. That's not sticking. I'm just kind of doing an edge test. I must have missed that edge a little bit. Okay, leave it alone, Robin. I have a few little corners where it's not sticking. Okay, let's let that dry. So put that over there. Okay, so now let's pick one for that. I was gonna do romance. I guess we still could. So I could do black. I think that might be too. So let's look at our colors. So I have Dear Diary, have a dusky blue or the eucalyptus is a little dry, but any of those three colors would look pretty. What do y'all think? Here's the napkin. Got Dear Diary, Dusky Blue, or Eucalyptus. If I had Peachy Keen, but I don't. And I think my pink is too pink. I'm kind of leaning towards one of these two colors. Storm. No, Storm wouldn't be too dark. Let me get this placed and then we'll Jason says eucalyptus. Let's get Storm. I also have I pulled out grayish, but it might be too light. But here's Storm. Blessings like mine. So here's grayish. Here's Storm. The eucalyptus needs some water. Needs a drink. Dusty Blue, or Dear Diary. And just for reference, your paste should look like this. Not that. Oh yeah. I don't think I could use eucalyptus. I think there's enough water in this craft room to fix that one. Well, I'm gonna have to. I need to make a list of what I need. Let's just start a list. Paste. Paste to replace. Eucalyptus. There. Okay. This one's probably a bit too light. So it's of these three. Dear Diary, Dusky Blue, or Storm. I think I might go with Benita on this one. She's got a pretty good noggin for color. I think we'll do Storm and see what happens. I think it's neutral, so I think all the other colors will pop maybe. then I forgot I'm going to need to put a coat on top of that. But I wanted the bottom coat to dry. There's romance, and if you look at really closely, there's like, I thought it was a boo-boo, but there's 3 hearts in the R of, in the O of romance. I think that'll look good. So we'll let that dry. And then let's do Capuche over the napkin. Actually, I got to take off. What do I need? I don't know. So I need to remove the excess. I'm just going to use a nail file in a gently downward position. And it just removes the napkin. You could also probably burn it off. Okay, perfectly covered bookmark. Now I will go over it with more Mod Podge. Oh gosh, wrong one. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But I do think I want the glitter. Ooh, that's pretty. Pretty sparkly. Kind of dab around the edges just to make sure that they're good and sealed. Oops. That might not be a good idea because those corners are now lifting. Okay, let's let that coat dry. Oops, we may do another coat. But look how sparkly she is. I love that extreme glitter Mod Podge. Okay, so let's let that dry. So we'll come back to this one to figure out what we want on that. I'm booked. Sleep is good, books are better, definitely not smut. Many books, so little time. Could do a flower. Could do another one of like a nonfiction. Could do the I am booked. I need a lot of things. Anita says she loves the napkin with the glitter. I love that. I need to see if I can find some more of that glitter Mod Podge. It's that extreme glitter, and they have this is kind of a, it's holographic glitter in there, and then they have gold, they have silver. This one's going to be a little difficult. This one is not cut apartable. I guess I could cut apart it. I know my grammar is so good. But it's awfully close to that. Ooh, by the hair of my chinny chin chin, I probably shouldn't have done that. I think I cut off part of the book. Oops. Placement tape. It's a good thing I only wanted a little piece, because that was the end of that one. So I'm going to fuzz my transfer by placement tape, because we learned the other night that even this pull starts to pull off the teal portion. So where I cut my book off, I'm going to tear that in half so I can use the other half down the way. I'm going to use this right here. That should help. I think we're going to use white on this one. If I have to get close to an edge, I like to paste away from that edge. I'm just going to go kind of going back to even out my squeegee lines. But I need to be careful not to go over. I'm booked. Okay. That one's cute. Keep that placement tape handy because I can reuse it if I need it. There's that one. I'm booked. Okay, let's Bonita says very cute. I think I'm going to cut even it out. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to cut this sponge. And let's do another one of these. Kind of liked that technique. It was fun. Let's use this little piece. So I'm just going to use some bright white. Maybe we'll put a flower on this one. Fun. I'll let that one dry. Okay. I need to wipe my fingers off. I'm so frugal. I even tear my I tear my wipes when I don't need a whole one. That way I can get more craft supplies. Okay. So let's come back to this one. So I think I can just slip this one in. So this one is the checkout card. It would be really cute, actually. Well, should I? Let's use this weird scrap piece and see what happens when I ink the edges with nominee ink. Just a skosh. What do you think? Here, do you think I should leave it or ink it? Paste it. Distress it with paste. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think I should do? Should I leave it like the left or distress paste it like the right? Okay, let's give it a whirl. I don't know about talented. I see, yeah. I don't know. I watch and observe. I kind of have what I think it should look like in my head. A gold leafing pen would be really cute around the edges too. Oops, I'm probably not even in frame. Oh gosh, way too much. So we don't need to go buy distress inks, people. Just use your pastes. You have every color of the daggum rainbow to steal Ryan Hall's catchphrases. That's plumb wild. Yeah, we don't need to buy distress inks anymore, peeps. Just use your paste and a sponge. Okay, we'll let that dry. Look at it dry now. It's super sparkly. I think I'm going to let that one dry a little more. In fact, I'm going to flip that over. And I think we'll apply this one with fabric tack, because I'm afraid if I try to Mod Podge this on the back, it's going to get everywhere. Let's dry that one. I think I'm going to put a pretty wildflower on that one. Figure out which one. Come on. The dryer is not cooperating. You want to see the flowers? That one? Actually, I think we're gonna experiment again. I'll be right back. I'm quickly running out of space. They are detailed, but we're gonna cheat a little bit, I think. Okay, I gotta put some stuff elsewhere for right now. This could get messy. I'm going to use this last one. I am going to use the edge of my transfer to help place it because it is actually a straight edge. Oh, that's way off. Way off. I need to come way over. think that's better. Okay. Bonita asked about the details, or she commented that they are very detailed, and I keep forgetting that we can actually do this, especially for these detailed things. We're just going to watercolor. We're going to use paintbrushes. Let's figure out which paintbrush is going to be the best. And don't throw these away. If you want to experiment with watercoloring, just use it as literally like a watercolor block, or give it to your kids or grandkids or neighbors. And all they have to do is spray water on it. And it works just like a watercolor cake. They sell those for preschool classrooms all the time. And they being early childhood companies. And I have them by the box full because all my pastes are dry. So we'll see if this works. I've used paintbrushes with our transfers before. I have not used dry paste before. I think I added a bit too much water, but I kind of had to. I think it'll be better if I don't have to add so much water, but it does work. Okay, so let me just show you. Don't throw these away because they make great watercolor cakes. And you can use them if they're not like hard as, well, you could still use them if they're hard as a rock. Just spray some water on them, and then you can use them to either watercolor or base coat something. This is all a watercolor cake basically is. Okay, so these I shouldn't have to add any water to, so they should, we'll see how they react with the paintbrush. Oh, I forgot that spot. Bummer summer. Let's burnish our flowers. Let's do blue up here. It didn't go all the way through. Doesn't help that my pastes are a little dry, but I don't mind the effect. Let's see what that does. It's definitely distressed, but I don't mind that look. But my pastes were not creamy. I need to give those some TLC. Wait. Okay, that's right. This one is not. There. Whoopsie. But if those details intimidate you, go to Amazon and look for clay tools. And they do have some similar to this at Hobby Lobby. They're for resin. They're a little harder though. These are like our squeegees, but they work really well. Like that's super tiny. Like if you don't want especially like this one, if you don't have the old artist tool set, this one would be great. So there's that one. I think we're done with this one. So let's bring all these back in. I think we can add the finishing touches. So we can let's pop this one in. And we'll punch the hole. And we'll add a tassel. Where are we at? Ooh, an hour. Whew. So I probably could have cut this one a little wider, but it still works. So, get that out of there. Oops. Okay. Got paper stuck in there. So I'm going to cut my hole. Okay. So there's that. That's ready for a tassel. So where did my string go? Right there. Ah! Avalanche. So these two are ready. That one's probably close. Let's go ahead and fix this one, because it's going to have to dry, and then we'll probably Mod Podge over that again. Ooh, way too much. And then okay, there's my hole right there. Okay, so I'm going to lay, looks pretty good. I'm going to lay that packaging over. I'm going to use this brayer. I don't really want to get glue all over my paste. If I can help it. I'm going to press down the edges though. And then I need to I'm going to make that hole a little bigger. Okay, so there, after there's that one. I'm going to let that one dry and I'll probably Mod Podge over the whole thing when I'm done. Let's get, I'm going to go pretty neutral on the tassel. So okay, so many gadgets. Okay, I don't want a very long one. So we're just going to use this bottom 3.5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25. Oh, those scissors are terrible. Okay, so I'm going to run this through here. I'm going to get it kind of on the top. Tie it super tight. And then we're going to tie a knot. And we're going to slide this off. And then we're going to cut all these in half. And we're going to cut another piece. Try to floof it out a little bit and then smooth it back down. And then for this, the neck piece, I'm going to put a loop in this piece. I'm going to lay the loop down with the free edge pointing up, and I'm going to take my other longer tail. I'm just going to start wrapping it around. My loop is right here. And then I'm going to put my tail through that loop, and I'm going to hang on to that tail now, and I'm going to pull the other tail up, and then it kind of gathers everything up underneath where I wrapped it. And then you're going to cut as close as you can, and then kind of stick that back in there. Oops. Oh man, it came undone. No bueno. We're going to do that again. Pulled a little too hard. Okay, so we're going to try that again. So I've got my loop. I think I want it a little lower. Still trying to perfect my tassel tying. This neck part is the hardest part. So I'm going to put my tail through that loop. I'm going to pull up on the other tail. Where did it go? Right there. And it gathers everything up and under. And hopefully this tail's long enough that it'll just kind of blend in. You could also, I mean, you could tie it off. I'm just going to leave mine for just a little bit until I figure out. And then if you've got some little lumpy bumpy parts in that little crown part of the tassel, you can kind of try to find those strands and pull them a little tighter. Sometimes that's a little tedious. Or sometimes I'll pull it out so then I can find where it is. There we go. Okay. I think we'll just leave that one there. So then I'm going to cut all this off, give it a haircut. Then I'm going to tie a knot up here. And then we're going to put that through. Probably should have tied the knot after I put it through. So then I've put it through the back. And then I'm just going to, nope, I don't want it that way. I always forget. I want the knot up front. So I need to put it the other way. I need to go through the back. If your hole is not big enough, tie your knot after you get it through. So now I'm gonna put it through because I wanted that knot to show right there. So there's your cute little tassel. And I made a bookmark from my makeup brush packaging. Easy peasy. I knew there was a reason why I saved those. So let's do this one. I stick my finger, if you happen to have this tassel maker, if you pull too tight, it kind of pinches. So I kind of stick my fingers in there to keep that top part from collapsing. And, oh, and this twine is actually from Dollar General. It's like the turkey, like you're supposed to bundle meat with it, but I really like it. It's very soft. It's not stretchy like yarn would be. It's not kind of rough and coarse like jute twine. Put that under there so I don't bang so much. Okay, so let's tie that tight. Ties. And we're going to cut those in half. There. What the? There we go. I just want to cut. Okay. And then we'll get another piece. We'll do the same thing. We'll make our little loop. We'll place it right here. I'm going to hold on to it. And then we're just going to start wrapping. Oops, I missed a few. Okay. There, it's a little better. And I kind of pull tight before I wrap it again. So I'm going to put my tail through my loop, and I'm going to pull this tail up. It just kind of gathers. I think that's the wrong loop. Wait, I'm confused. Ah. Now I messed up somewhere. Oh, balderdash. I'll get it yet. Somewhere I messed up. Okay, let's try that again. Bring that through the loop. And we're going to pull up on that, and it gathers everything. So I'm just kind of pulling on some of these strands to get the ponytail right again. You have to pick just the right one. I can't find that one. Where's this one? Found it. Okay. Okay, so now we'll give this one a haircut. Trim it up. There's a weird one in there. Found it. Okay. Ooh, that one's going to be short. Okay, so now we're going to put this through to the back. This one's going to be difficult. So we're going to tie our knot. Should have made those a lot longer. I probably cut that one off when I was giving it a haircut. Get that one as far up as possible. Now, if it's backwards, it's just going to have to stay backwards at this point. So now I just need to fish the tassel through this teeny tiny loop. Okay, there's that one. It doesn't look very good though. Okay, ta-da! There's 4 bookmarks. I'll put tassels on both of these later, but we've got this one. That's an acrylic bookmark with a napkin decoupaged on, and then I pasted on some watercolor paper. This one is the Couture bookmark blanks that I dabbed with some nominee paste, and then I just did the I'm booked in bright white. This one I also kind of dabbed on some bright white paste and then used the floral transfer. I think I might sand that one up some more to make it super distressed. And then this one is actually our makeup brush packaging, and I just took out the retail insert and then I added a watercolor insert that we pasted on, and then we just added some cute tassels. So then those will just slide into my blind date with a book bundles, and they'll have a cute little custom bookmark. Super cute. I like them. So you know the drill. If you make some bookmarks, I want to see them. So tag my business page, Robin's Egg Blue Creations, or better yet, post them in the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Lounge group. And you can put lounge in the comments if you'd like to be added to that group. Jason says, love them all. Wondered what you were saving those brush packages for. Yep, I've had some in my stash for, they've been in my blind date with the book bundles. I was actually going to make some shaker bookmarks with them, but they worked out perfect. I like the watercolor insert with them. So yeah. So if you buy some Wet n Wild makeup brushes, don't throw them out. They make great bookmarks. You just have to do a little bit of surgery with them. Okie doke. Here's what it looks like in our little blind date with the book bundle. And I'm not done. I'll decorate this all out. I just started the other day. But those will go into my bundles. Okie doke. So which one's your favorite out of 4? Which one do you like the best? You'll have to let me know. I'm actually surprisingly very partial to that one. A lot of it is the actual transfer because I love the little check due date things. Although the sparkly bookmark kind of has it for me too. I will decoupage over this one. That way the paper's a little more protected. But you know, I like anything that sparkles. So, okie doke. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I will not be live this weekend because I will be gone. But I'll be live next week. I get my Disney box tomorrow. If I have time, maybe we'll do an unboxing, but I can't guarantee anything. So with that, I'm going to hop off. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening, and thanks for all your tips, tricks, and suggestions. They worked out great. And thanks again for watching. See you later.